Welcome to our 2021 capital project presentation. My name is Sean O'Connor. I'm the superintendent of schools for Weedsport Central School District. This presentation will bring into focus the project scope, rationale, and financials. We are pleased that you have taken an interest in finding out more information about the project. It is our intent to illustrate that district leadership is meeting the community's expectations of proposing a project that demonstrates our commitment to being responsible facility caretakers in a fiscally prudent manner. With regards to the proposed scope, we'll go through it over the next few slides. First, athletic facility upgrades. As a desire to promote even more physical exercise opportunities for students while in school, after school, as well as for community members, the district is seeking to reconstruct the outdoor track and install a turf field. A total overhaul of the track and playing field is a major portion of the 2021 capital improvement project. The field would be lined for soccer, field hockey, and football. Baseball and softball teams would be able to hold practices when their sports playing fields are too wet in early spring and or during rainy periods, and there will be a power source nearby for pitching machines. The community would be welcome to use the facilities for youth sports, events, or for exercise. While ushering the district into the 21st century regarding the track and turf upgrade, the district is being mindful to maintain the small town prep school atmosphere, which has long been part of the sports experience at Weedsport, by ensuring that watching games from the hill will remain unchanged. The expected bleacher and press box upgrades, which are part of the proposed capital project, will not change the viewing experience for fans, friends, and family members from their traditional hillside perch. School officials have long received feedback from attendees to our contests that more suitable bathroom accessibility would be a welcome addition when attending such events. The inclusion of more easily accessible bathroom facilities as part of the capital improvement project is demonstration of the district listening and meeting the expectations of our community. As you can see, parts of the track are degrading and cracking due to overuse and the natural passage of time. On this slide, you'll see that portions of the field event areas are old and deteriorating. An updated facility would benefit all students who would be able to use the track and field as classroom during physical education and community members who would have a state-of-the-art facility to use for exercise. During wet seasons, our fields are often pooled with water, making them unusable for practices and games. When the field is left in these conditions, the fields become muddy and torn up, leading to more work for our maintenance team. Turf fields are easier to maintain, obviously, and can be used in inclement weather conditions. Our current press box at the field is old and breaking down. Without a replacement, the current press box will soon become unsafe for use. The proposed capital project includes a new fence that will enclose the athletic facility. With regards to health and safety initiatives, the portions of roof that will be replaced include the central portion of the junior senior high school building running from south to north, the auditorium, music rooms, and the 2004 wing. These portions of roof have not been updated in nearly 20 years and are nearing the end of their useful life. The district's last capital project focused heavily on updated ceilings, the heating and ventilation system, classrooms, and lockers at the junior senior high school. And the roof replacement aspect of this project would prevent future leaks from ruining those updates. A generator replacement would protect the building and everyone inside in case of a power failure. It would ensure technology, heating and ventilation, refrigeration, and emergency lighting systems to function without interruption. The proposed projects at the elementary school are necessary after deterioration due to high-intensity use by students and the community over the last 20 years. The proposed updates would ensure a safe environment for students and members of the Weedsport community who use the gymnasium. As you can see, the flooring in the lobby of the elementary school near the Topacek Gymnasium is cracking and in need of replacement. The current divider wall in the elementary school gym is old and difficult to use. The capital project includes taking this divider wall down and replacing it with a drop-down curtain. The wall pads at the elementary school gym would be replaced after years of wear and tear. This will ensure safety for our students and community members who use the facility. Finally, with regards to the proposed scope, there are enhancements in the auditorium at the junior-senior high school. The music program at Weedsport has been a great source of pride for decades in our community. These upgrades would not only benefit students, but community members who use the venue for dance recitals and veteran-based ceremonies. The district has made cosmetic upgrades to the auditorium through the years. However, the sound system, which is critical for everyday use of the facility, is nearing the end of its life cycle and requires a newly installed and modern system. Additionally, upgrades to the lighting system would address some areas where the stage lighting is inconsistent. The sound system is a critical component to everyday use of the auditorium. By replacing the sound system, we are able to enhance all future shows and performances within the facility, upgrade to an ADA compliant hearing assistance system, ensuring everyone will be able to enjoy future performances, and add wireless microphones. With regards to holding a capital project vote now, we're already having our annual budget vote in May, so all was in place in terms of holding a vote. Notification, election inspectors, voting room prep, and linking the capital project vote was logical. There is an obvious logistical advantage to having a vote at this time, but we have a responsibility to be facility caretakers, and such is another reason for a vote now. Using our 5-year building condition survey required by the State Education Department, or SED, many of the items in our proposed scope have been identified for an upgrade given life cycle expectancy and enhanced health and safety measures. Additionally, the review time of most non-emergency capital projects that go to the State Education Department for approval is lengthy. So even if a successful vote occurs in approving the project, it is most likely that by the time the required architectural plans are submitted to SED and feedback is provided by SED, we will have advanced time-wise to the summer of 2022, meaning no work would be done in this upcoming summer of 2021. Given that this is quite some time away, please know that the current project cost has been developed with the possibility that there may be cost increases between the time of the public vote and the actual work being done. Hopefully, it is evident that by delaying a vote to a later time, a project, if approved, could extend out even further, and we may risk cost expenditures linked to a facility maintenance and repair. So addressing our issues now through a capital improvement project vote is imperative. With regards to our information plan, through the identified approaches on the slide, the district is attempting to both reach out to community members with information regarding the proposed capital project and provide feedback when questioned. This slide shows an explanation of the funding streams for this proposed capital project. The current building aid ratio for the district is 83.1%, meaning that New York State will pay for approximately $6.3 million of this project. The district will use approximately $313,000 from a capital reserve fund to further reduce the cost of the project for the taxpayer, leaving the local share from this work to be 12.7% or $971,169,000. We will be able to pay this local share over a 15-year period. And keep in mind, this is sort of like a mortgage when you borrow money and pay over time. The financial elements of the proposed capital project warrants careful and deliberate explanation when it comes to the taxpayer's fulfillment of providing its local share. Option number 1, raise the tax levy in year 1 of repayment at a rate of $37 per $100,000 market value for a residence. This is just an example to show you the effect using tax levy to cover the cost of the debt payment. You might be asking, but wouldn't we need to raise taxes every year to cover this additional amount? No. Once you raise the tax levy in the first year, the amount is built in the tax levy the following year. We only need to raise taxes one time. In the subsequent years, we could theoretically have a 0% tax increase and still have the additional money built in to make the additional debt payment. Thus, the worst case tax scenario would be to raise the tax levy the full amount year one of repayment to cover the additional cost. The repayment of the new debt would begin during the 23-24 school year, so we have 2 budget cycles to plan for this debt payment. But we have already begun minimizing the impact to the taxpayer by having a 0% tax levy for the school budget for the 21-22 academic year. Option number 2, reduce expenses to cover the cost of the local debt payment. This is pretty simple to understand. In future budget development planning, we will look to make adjustments to our expenditures so that we can allocate some of the money we will save on that expense and put it towards the debt payment to restrict the tax levy increase to the community. At this point, I cannot specify an expense reduction that is expected 2 years from now, but I expect our budgeting approach will be with a frugal mindset. Option 3, the combination of 1 and 2. Remember, we have 2 budget cycles to lessen any tax burden, and this will be our number 1 priority for financing the project, as evidenced by the 0% tax levy associated with next year's school budget. We have begun to build on our question bank related to the capital project, and the following are some questions that are believed to be of importance. I will read each question and provide an answer. Why will there be a soccer field when the school doesn't offer soccer? While determining the scope of the proposed project, the district kept in mind the broader community. From flag football to Little League to soccer programs, the Weedsport community has multiple sports programs, and each of those teams would have the opportunity to use the turf field. Do we need a turf field? The turf field is just one piece of a major overhaul to the entire athletic complex. Replacing the track and field will bring many added benefits with it. The community will be able to take full advantage of these upgrades, and youth sports will be able to use the upgraded turf field for their league play. Turf is durable, easy to maintain, and will expand the amount of time student athletes are able to use the turf during rainy and wet seasons. Physical education classes will also be able to take full advantage of this new space as an outdoor classroom. And finally, what is the timeline for the proposed project? Phase 1 of the proposed project, primarily the roofing, would begin in May of 2022. With Phase 2, primarily the track and field work, planned to begin in the fall of 2022 while being mindful of our interscholastic sports schedule. The entire project would be completed by August of 2023. If members of our community have further questions about the proposed capital project, I would encourage any person with such questions to submit the questions to the email listed on the slide. A response will be forthcoming, and if appropriate, the question and answer will be posted to the website for the benefit of all. Thank you for listening, and have a good evening.